Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Kendra. I post 3 videos a week. You should subscribe and you won't miss any of them. If you've noticed, all of my makeup is done except for my eyes, and that is because we are reviewing slash demoing slash trying for the very first time the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I'm so excited to try this. I love Jaclyn Hill. She's one of my favorite YouTubers, so I'm so excited to try this, and I'm also so happy for her. This seemed like it was such a huge hit. Oh, it was an insane launch. I was in the queue for 15 minutes. I was on the website as soon as it dropped, even before it dropped. So anyways, that's besides the point. Alright, let's go ahead and get this review, demo, tutorial, first impressions started. So let's just go. So it comes in this white packaging, you know, it's a little bit different obviously than the regular Morphe stuff. And then you get some bubble paper, bubble wrapping, not paper. And then the back is so cute. It says like Morphe times Jaclyn Hill. I don't know if you guys can see that because my exposure. And then it has like Jaclyn Hill, JH, JH, JH everywhere. This packaging is literally 10 times better than all the other Morphe palettes. I wish they would start using cardboard. I don't really like the plastic. I feel like it's easy to break and it's not as soft for your shadows. But then again, the other Morphe palettes are like $22 and this one is $38. So it makes sense that it's a little bit nicer, I guess. They also give you a card with all the shade names. And yeah, this is what it looks like. It says this palette is dedicated to all my loving subscribers, XOXO Jaclyn, XOXO Gossip Girl. And this palette, like, you could make any look under the freaking sun. Like, if you want a rainbow look, you can make a rainbow look. If you wanted blue, if you wanted green, if you wanted rose gold, if you wanted copper, if you wanted red, like, it's all here. One thing I do want to say about Morphe shadows before we jump into this, I have the Morphe 35O and I do want to get a few other Morphe palettes. However, I've kind of been a little hesitant on that because something in the Morphe 35O shadows, it could be in all the Morphe palettes, you know, I don't really know. It doesn't necessarily irritate my eyes, but it makes my eyes water like crazy. Like, I will let you guys know in the comments down below if this does this as well. After I've worn it for a while, I'll let you guys know. I know that they reformulated their shadows for this palette, so it could be very different. And I know that they like literally did a different kind of pressing, did a different kind of shadow, different ingredients. Everything's different with this palette, and that's why it's a little bit more expensive. But let's just go ahead and put this on my eyes. I'll stop rambling. So I am going to start off using this shade up here. This is called Silk Cream. Okay, this is going to be my transition shade. It's pretty pigmented and pretty blendable so far. That's the only thing I will say about the Morphe palettes is I feel like the shadows are definitely not as buttery as other eyeshadow palettes that I've had. I don't think they're bad, and I think you're getting great value for the price, like $22, you know, and you get tons of shades. What are these, like 35 shades in a palette, so that's really cool. But this, I would say, is definitely blending easier than my other Morphe palette. To deepen up the crease and also bring a little bit more warmth, I'm going to take a mixture of this shade and this shade up here. So this shade and this shade. And that top one is called Pooter and the other one is called Jax. They're both pretty pigmented. I'm gonna go in with a really light hand so I can control. I'm gonna take the first brush we were using just to blend out the shadow and to really make them look good together. Also, I don't know if you can tell, my lash extensions are literally so sparse that, like, oh my gosh, they're so sparse. They look so weird and funky, so I apologize if that's bothering you. It's bothering me too, but I'm getting them filled tomorrow. I'm just gonna bring that into the outer V as well. That turned out really pretty. On to the next eye. I'm going to take Silk Cream again, which is that first shade we used. Just bring it to up here to blend everything out. Like, you know, just a basic, simple little step. I don't wanna lose like that transition of colors, so I definitely want it to show. Now for the next shade, I'm going to take this shade right here. This is called Cran Apple, which is perfect because we're doing a cranberry eye. So I'm just gonna take that on a flat brush and I'm just gonna start packing it on the center of my lid and into the outer V, but I'm gonna kind of leave the inner corner for a different shade. This is interesting. I feel like it's definitely picks up a little bit more red on your eyelid than it looks in the pan, but it's still really, really pretty. This shade is super pigmented. It's very opaque. It's not patchy. It doesn't take a lot. I'm pretty impressed. I'm going to take more of this shade called Jax and blend that again into the outer V. For the inner third of my eye, I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is called SBN. I don't know what that means, but she explained it in her video, so I'm sure I've heard it before, I just can't remember. And I'm just gonna start placing this on the inner V, inner third, whatever you wanna call it. There has definitely been some fallout that I did not expect. I should have done my eye makeup first, but I never do that. But now I'm regretting it because there's definitely some fallout. So, for future reference, people, you don't want random marks all over your face. Do your eye makeup first. Okay, for the lower lash line, I'm going to take this shade right here, and this shade is called Roxanne. I'm gonna take that on a really tiny brush and keep it super close to my lower lash line. And then I'm gonna go back in with Silk Cream, which is that first shade we used. And I'm just gonna also sweep that along the lower lash line. And then to bring a little bit more life, I'm gonna take more of Crayon Apple and also bring that on the lower lash line, like right here. And then let's take more of SBN, which is that shade we used on the inner third of my eye, and bring that also on the inner third of the lower lash line. This is literally the only thing that sucks about having lashes is when they get this sparse. I'm gonna take an angled brush and a darker shade, probably this chocolatey brown. I'm gonna take this shade, okay, I just stabbed it with my finger. That's okay. I'm gonna take this shade right here. This is called Mocha. And I'm just going to drag this on top of my upper lash line just to kind of give it some definition since I'm lacking a lot of lashes. So on top of SBN, I just want to brighten my inner corner more. I'm going to take this shade up top right here called Beam. What a fitting name. I'm going to take Beam and just place it in the inner corner on top of what we already did. The one downside to this palette is there's no matte white or bone color or a light shade to highlight the brow bone with, and I love first going in with a matte highlight shade and then going in with a shimmer highlight shade for my brow bone. So I'm gonna reach into another palette and just highlight my brow bone with a matte white shade, and then I will go in with probably the shade we just used called Beam. Okay, now taking that shade Beam, let's highlight the brow bone. Okay guys, this is the final look I created using this Morphe x Jaclyn Hill palette. Okay, so I don't really have a ton to say other than the fact that I do think this is kind of irritating my eyes already, but it's not terrible. It's just like none of my Too Faced shadows do that, none of my ColourPop shadows do that, none of the Anastasia Beverly Hills shadows do that, none of the Tarte shadows do that. I just don't know what's in this that kind of irritates my eyes a little bit, but it's not making my eyes like allergic or creating like a long-term effect. It just kind of makes them a little bit itchy and a little bit watery throughout the day. I do really like this look I created. I think these are really, really pretty shades. They're super pigmented. They blend out pretty well for Morphe, comparatively speaking to the other palettes. The other palette I have is really great. I don't mind it. I just feel like I have to do a little bit extra work of blending, but not with this. This is really, really, really great palette. I'm sure they will restock this. I don't know if it will ever be permanent, but if they do restock it, you should definitely get your hands on it. The only downside, like I was saying before, is it does not have a matte highlight shade, which I like crave in every palette. So that's a bummer to me because I'm gonna have to reach for another palette because literally every day I use a matte highlight shade for my brow bone and then I go in with a shimmer highlight. But I'm loving these shades. I think there's so much you can do with this palette. You can create kind of a cool toned look. You can always create warm toned looks. There's so many warm toned shades. There's tons of shimmers, tons of mattes. You got tons of transition colors. And I think this is an awesome palette. Again, I think it's awesome that Jaclyn Hill created this. I know it took her like 2 years to reformulate and test the shades and blah blah blah, and it's a really awesome, good quality palette. If you're thinking about getting it when it restocks, do not hesitate. I think you should pick it up. It's a great palette. Do I think it's my favorite palette? No. Is it in my top 5 favorite palettes? No. Am I glad I have it? Yes. I do think I will get good use out of this. Again, I kind of wish Morphe would make all their packaging in like cardboard, because this is so much nicer than their like plastic or whatever you want to call it thing. I hate the Morphe packaging, but and this is so cute with like the silver writing. It's adorable. I love Jaclyn Hill. Good for Jaclyn Hill. I really like this eye look I created. I can't wait to explore more with this palette and test out some other shades and get a different look, and yeah. Alright, well I will let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching today. If you like this video, you should definitely give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, again, you should subscribe down below. I post 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're not gonna want to miss them. Anyways, you guys have a great morning, noon, evening, day, night, whenever it is that you're watching this. I love you guys very, very, very much, and I hope you have a great day. Didn't I just say that? I think I did just say that, but anyways, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!